So today I'm going to take you on a little field trip of Arsenal Building 101. Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to talk about Arsenal building. For me, I'm going to Nationals here in a few days, so I've been working really hard on my Arsenal, for which I'm going to take to Las Vegas with me. I know those of you who might be bowling GD Gold soon, talking about Arsenals for that. Not too many tournaments am I limited a year anymore in bowling balls, but those few that I have, there's always some hard decisions to make. So today we're going to talk about how to make those decisions easier, and maybe just to make sure we're covering all the bases. For those of you that don't know, I did go to college for elementary education. So today, I'm going to take you on a little field trip of Arsenal Building 101. Please bear with my handwriting. My handwriting sucks, but I'm going to talk you through it, okay? I'm more so writing it for me, not for you. But today, I'm going to go through a step-by-step basis of what information I take in and take out to build an arsenal to get ready for any said tournament. First and foremost, how many bowling balls, right? The answer to that for me personally, going to Las Vegas for Nationals, I'm going to take 6. That's a great starting point, right? The next question I'm going to ask is, what am I bowling on? I have no clue. I obviously have an idea. I bowled Nationals a few years. It's somewhere in the range of 38 to 40 feet. Most years. The second pattern, 40 to 43 feet. Most years. I watch videos of USBC posts of other people bowling. Darren Tang just bowled. He posted some videos of him bowling. I take a lot of that information in and get an idea of the length of pattern, but I really don't know. So with that being said, I'm going to make sure that I have all my bases covered and be prepared for just about everything. But number one ball that's going is what? You might be able to guess it. It's my spare ball. Now, my spare ball does cover 2 bases because I do use a urethane ball as a spare ball. So urethane will be covered. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Where do we start? Wow. Taking only 6 bowling balls when I'm used to having anywhere from 15 to 25 bowling balls on tour with me is tough. But most of the time that means I'm going to take no duplicates, and I'm going to try to take no bowling balls that overlap each other at least very much, right? There's always some favorites. But the first ball I'm going to take is whatever my benchmark ball is, right? People talk about the benchmark ball all the time. And mine would be the Pride Dynasty. Why? Because it's the most predictable ball motion I have. It's the roundest, most predictable. It reads the lane, as people would describe, the smoothest. Yes? So that is the first ball in my bag. Now, what I always like to do is I like to put my most predictable ball, or the first one going, in the middle of the arsenal. From there, we go bigger and weaker, stronger and weaker, whatever word you'd like to use to describe it. So my Pride Dynasty is in the 3 spot and not the 4 spot because it is going to be the second strongest ball I take. I have actually already decided on the bowling balls, so I'm just kind of taking you through the process of how I decided. But the strongest ball I'm going to take is going to be a Crimson Jackal. Crimson Jackal, why? Because I need a stronger ASIM ball. I could have went with the Jackal Ghost. I could have went with the Evoke if you follow the motive line. But I'm going to go with the Crimson Jackal. It's my favorite of the line, and I find that when I hit that ball with surface, it does become much stronger and much earlier. And overall, it reacts to surface probably the best of those bowling balls for me personally. I'm always going to take bowling balls that when I hit them with surface, they change, right? I don't want to take a ball that even if it hits at 500 or 4,000, I don't feel like it changes much. Because when I build an arsenal with 5 bowling balls, I'm really trying to cover a lot more bases than that. I like to always describe it to people that you're filling a golf bag, right? So I'm taking somewhat of a driver that can also be a 3-wood or a 5-wood if you're a golfer. It just fills a lot of spots. That's really what I'm going with. So from there, we're going to go to the weaker balls. So I already have the urethane. It's kind of in its own realm. So that would technically be the weakest. But a step down from the Pride Dynasty, for me personally at the moment is the new EJ VIP Venom. So when we talk about ball motion and we talk about round, I could draw a picture for you. My Crimson Jackal is going to be pretty checkmarky. It's going to be angular. My Pride Dynasty is going to be very round. So I'm looking for another bowling ball that fits around the Pride that's a little weaker. It's a step down from it. And so that would be the EJ Venom. It's going to be a very similar motion. If I find that the Pride looks really good and I like the ball motion of it, I want another ball motion of it that's weaker, that's maybe a ball down, or even something I could start with if the Pride is too much. Now from there, I have to have the same for the Crimson Jackal. I have to have something angular but in a weaker bowling ball. So that's where I'm going to have my black Venom. So again, when I'm talking about covering all the bases, right, I have two different types of motion and two different bowling balls. If we put these bowling balls on a scale of 1 to 10, I am going to have a Crimson that's about a 9.5 for me, a Pride that's about a 7.5, a EJ VIP that's around a 6.5, a Black Venom that's around a 6, and then most importantly, for those of you that follow the Motive line and follow EJ Tackett's career, the most important ball in our arsenal probably, the Venom Shock. Now, is the Venom Shock actually my weakest ball? Probably not, but I use my Venom Shock shiny, so it will be lower on the scale, where if I use that surface, it could probably be determined as a 7.5 or an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. So hopefully you guys are following along, but really what I'm trying to do is build a lot of different motions, fill the bag with different levels of strength, so that way, too often I see when people post their arsenals, hey, I'm going to Junior Gold, they have 3 ginormous ASIMs and then 1 weak ball, where you're not covering all the bases. You're not having every type of motion that you need. It would be the same as a golfer going out with 4 drivers, 2 putters, and a wedge. You're just not going to be able to attack the course the right way, and you just never really know what you're bowling on, right? So I now feel like with this 6-ball arsenal, if I go out there and they feel like they hook a ton, I'm not going to be out of play. If they go out there and they're hooking quite a bit, I'm not going to be out of play. So hopefully this is making sense to you guys. This is the simplest way. I can tell you, I get into layouts a little bit too. A lot of the bowling balls I'm taking actually do have similar-ish layouts. I don't vary too much in that. I'm much more varying in the side of strength and what surface I'm having them at. And I'm sure that you guys have questions. I'm sure I'm going to do more ball reviews and ball arsenal videos in the future, but I'm just giving you a little bit of a deep dive into what I'm doing personally for USBC Nationals coming up. And I sure hope that after this video is aired and after I get back, we're celebrating me doing some good bowling and that I made the right picks. After watching some of the balls go down the lane, you can see I have definitely a variety of motions. The Crimson was definitely too much ball at the moment. The Venom Shock was a little too weak at the moment. We had a few that looked good. I think it's very important in arsenal building that when you're practicing with your bowling balls, trying to make them, choices, they're not all supposed to strike at the same time, because if they do, they're probably too close in ball motion. So it's important to know that just because the ball doesn't look good at that very moment doesn't mean it's not going to look good later in the day or earlier in the day. So variety, variety, variety. And I feel like I have a pretty good variety here. If the lanes get a little drier, the Venom probably would have looked good. Earlier in the day when the lanes weren't as burnt or as beat up, the Crimson would have looked good. So just making sure I have all my bases covered, I'm ready to go. I hope you guys took some information out of this. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that this helps you in some sort of way. Everybody thinks a little different when it comes to arsenal building and picking their bowling balls. But this has worked for me in the past, so I'm going to trust the process. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video.